Bautista right back from the All-Star game, and he had a memorable experience, a home run derby on Monday, and then the great effort in the All-Star game on Tuesday.
How about Jose Bautista playing third base for about 3.5 weeks? Then he goes right back into the outfield for one game and makes this play off of Brian McCann. That is an athlete out there for the Blue Jays. He could win a Gold Glove, I think, if he stayed out in right field.
He's got a chance to win a Gold Glove at two positions in my mind, and he plays that way every day. We have the luxury of watching him every single day, but you could see David Robertson, who was on the mound at that time, how much he enjoyed the effort. David Robertson here, of course, fresh off his All-Star experience. Joe Girardi's New York Yankees start the second half of the season, a game behind the Boston Red Sox. Let's take a look at their lineup. It's brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Banking can be this comfortable. Derek Jeter with his 3,004 hits will lead it off. Curtis Granderson started the All-Star game. Mark Teixeira, Robinson Cano won the home run derby on Monday. Nick Swisher, Russell Martin, Andrew Jones is the DH tonight. Eduardo Nunez will play third base until Alex Rodriguez gets back from that knee surgery. Brett Gardner is the left fielder.
Tonight's starting pitcher is brought to you by Tim Hortons Original Biscuit Breakfast Sandwich, now with hickory smoked ham. JoJo Reyes gets the ball to start the first game after the All-Star break. Last time JoJo faced the Yankees was the final outing of his 28-game winless streak as a starter. That was on May the 25th, as he gave up 5 runs over 3 innings. Since then, Reyes has pitched much better. He has a winning record at 4-3, and his ERA stands at 4.44 in those 8 starts since the last time that he faced the Yankees.
Derek Jeter, the newest member of the 3,000 hit club. He becomes the 28th member in Major League history to amass 3,000 hits. He has 3,004. And Jeter became just the second player to get 3,000 hits with a home run.
How about the way he did it also, with 5 hits in that game, including the game winner late. Only the way he can do it.
That's the way the captain does things. So we are set for action, the first of 4 here at Rogers Center to start the second half of the season. JoJo Reyes throws the first pitch strike. You mentioned Reyes has been pitching a lot better of late. The key for him, in my estimation, he's got to be down, and he's got to create a downward angle with that fastball.
And if he's down, a lot of other things will open up for JoJo Reyes. He throws a changeup also, that's good. His cutter has been very good. He has to be down. Every time we watch him, when he's down, he's fine. As soon as the ball starts leaking up in the strike zone, that's when JoJo starts to get hit.
He went to the plate his second at bat Saturday against David Price with 2,999, and wouldn't you know it, in Yankee Stadium, Derek Jeter hits a home run for 3,000.
And in Yankee Stadium to left field, that wasn't a paint scraper. That made it into the second set of seats, which is a long, long way.
And he hit it off of David Price. So you look at the hit total for Jeter against the Blue Jays. He has more hits against Toronto than anybody that's ever played against them. 285 career hits. Always been a tough out. And he seems to be rejuvenated a bit with that pursuit of 3,000 hits.
Well, you can see him now in 2-strike mode, just trying to fight everything off against Reyes. He's always been a very good 2-strike hitter. Shortens it up and goes to right.
Hits this one to right. Eric Thames will come in and make the catch. 1 out.
Defensively for the Blue Jays tonight, playing behind JoJo Reyes, it's been a good defense. They are climbing the ranks in the American League in fielding percentage. Snyder, Davis, and Thames, the 2 youngsters in the corner in the outfield. Escobar and Hill up the middle. Bautista and Lind on the corners. J.P. Arancibia behind the plate. And then Jose Bautista. We talked about the catch in the All-Star game. How about his influence at third base on this infield? We have watched it that whole road trip in Boston and Cleveland right before the break. Always talking, always trying to help everybody.
And John Farrell characterized it best when he said, I need about 4 more Jose Bautista so I can spread them around the field. Curtis Granderson started the All-Star game in center field. Upstairs, there's a strike. Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire, called that high strike. 25 homers and 63 driven in for Granderson. Reyes covers the bag. Good throw from Hill. There are 2 quick outs.
That might look like an easy play, and the Blue Jays performed it perfectly, but that's a tough play, and it's a tough play on Aaron Hill. He gets to the ball in plenty of time. Now he's got to lead his pitcher, and he's got to get him the ball so he can catch the ball and then find the bag. It's almost like a quarterback who's got to lead his wide receiver. Get it to him early, catch it, and get the out at first base. Executed perfectly by Hill and Reyes.
So 2 outs here in the first. Mark Teixeira is set to face JoJo Reyes. There's a first pitch strike. Teixeira and Granderson, they both have 25 home runs. They're just the second pair of Yankees to hit 25 or more at the All-Star break. The first set, pretty impressive. Mantle and Maris in 61. Pretty good numbers against the Blue Jays for Teixeira as well. This time he pops it back out of play. When you think about Mark Teixeira, you always think about a high average, but this year hitting just 244. But I think that's kind of universal in baseball. When you think about the dominance of pitching this year, it's all about the year of the pitcher for a second consecutive season.
It certainly has been the return of the starting pitching. You look at the numbers all the way around. Batting averages, team batting averages, averages for American League teams, some of the lowest in a generation. But I think you're right. The home runs, I think, will still be there, but the batting average for these teams are going down.
Teixeira strikes out. A good inning for JoJo Reyes. A 1-2-3 first inning and a half an inning at Rogers. Night at Rogers Center, and baseball teams got into aerobics during the 80s, and a lot of guys were working out to a different style, and now John Farrell's team's all about weightlifting and conditioning, and they're starting to really be optimistic about the second half. 2 games under 500 at the start of the second half. Escobar, Thames, and Bautista. Boy, Eric Thames has brought a new dimension into this lineup. Adam Lind, Aaron Hill, and Edwin Encarnacion in the middle of the order. Travis Snyder, 231 in his return. Aaron Seavey and Rajai Davis round out the lineup.
That new dimension is some energy from Eric Thames, especially when he is hitting in the top of the lineup. Plays the game the right way, runs the bases. A lot of energy he and Snyder has given this offensive team.
Bartolo Colon falls behind Escobar.
Colon won 4 straight starts before losing his most recent outing. That was Thursday against Tampa Bay, but what a story he has been this year for the Yankees. There are his numbers. 15 games, has pitched well on the road, 4-0, 2.5 ERA, 7 road starts this year.
Bouncing ball to third. Eduardo Nunez with a strong arm throws out Escobar.
Defensively for the Yankees, they're in the middle of the pack in the American League in fielding percentage. Gardner, Granderson and Swisher in the outfield. You notice no Alex Rodriguez. Eduardo Nunez took over for Jeter when he was on the DL. Played 14 games there for the Yankees. He will slide over to third with A-Rod on the disabled list.
Eric Thames looks at a breaking ball downstairs. Since his recall in 14 games, Thames is hitting .323. And drives this ball into left field. Brett Gardner can't make the play. It bounces past him. Granderson backs him up, and Thames will end up at second with a one-out double. That ball was sinking fast, and Gardner, he's got a lot of speed, but couldn't make a play on it.
Eric Thames has that ability to hit the ball and hit the ball with authority to all fields. When he is driving the ball to left field, he keeps that front shoulder, and this time it's off the end of the bat. That two-seam fastball from Colon, sinking and sinking fast. Gardner's got great speed in the outfield, but he can't get this one. Good job by Granderson to get over there and back it up and keep Thames at second base.
See, Gardner tried to smother it, but got underneath his glove. So the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position. Thames with his 7th double of the season. Mr. Everything in the first half, no question about it. .334 with 31 homers and 65 RBI.
You throw in great clubhouse leadership. His defense at 2 positions. 8 outfield assists. He hasn't played over there in about 3.5 weeks. You're right, Mr. Everything.
He certainly developed a great eye at the plate over his last 18 games, hitting nearly .370 with 10 home runs. 10 home runs, 19 RBI in his last 18 games, with the entire world focused on him. Pops this one up. Nunez, Russell Martin, they both run out of room. When they both got there, that ball stayed up a long time. And anytime you can retire Bautista, you're going to do whatever you can.
Jump into the stands, jump into the dugout, whatever it takes. But that camera was positioned perfectly because neither Martin nor Nunez could get there with the camera in the way. Blocked him. Look at that, right in between them.
Russell Martin got to a good spot over there, but both he and Nunez couldn't come up with it. So Bautista has life.
You were talking about the home runs that Bautista has hit in his last 18 games, and he's not hitting them against any call-ups or anybody like that. Young pitchers, he is taking some big-time players deep.
Philly series, you got Kyle Kendrick, Roy Halladay, and Cliff Lee.
They're pretty good.
And Jonathan Papelbon for good measure in Boston.
How about Chris Perez, the all-star closer for the Cleveland Indians? Bautista got him.
And with it, Bautista will walk. So there are 2 aboard for Adam Lind. Well, that's the thing that impresses me. With so many things out there for him, the ability to drive in runs, the ability to hit another home run, he takes an awful lot of walks. He's patient.
Again, it reminds us of the season Barry Bonds had in 2001 when he led the league in home runs and walks, had that magnificent on-base percentage. 75 walks now for Bautista, which leads the American League.
Last year at the All-Star break, he had 54 walks. Adam Lind hitting .300 on the nose. We talk about the presence of Thames in the lineup and the resurgence of Lind coming back to protect Bautista. The lineup has just gotten more difficult for pitchers to work against.
And I think it's become more balanced also. If you add in Travis Snyder's left-handed bat, and we all know what he has done since he's come back up. Right-handed pitchers don't have to feast on the right-handed batters that we saw earlier in the year. They have to do double duty against these left-handers who can swing the bat. Thames, Snyder, Lind.
Bouncing ball to first. Teixeira has to back up. Flips to Colon. Bang, bang at first. Man, oh man. Lind made it close with his effort down the line. Thames goes to third. Bautista moves into second. And to share, just a reminder, hey, you can't take anything for granted.
And the batter shouldn't take anything for granted with Colon on the mound. If there is a ground ball, and he just beat Adam Lynn just by about the length of his spike. That is how Bartolo Colon injured his hamstring on a play just like that. A 3-1 fielding ground ball from the first baseman to the pitcher. He went over there, pulled his hamstring, so he looked very slow getting over to first base. And I think that's why Russell Martin has gone out there to talk to his pitcher.
I'll give him a chance to catch his breath as well. Joe Girardi very concerned. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, behind Girardi. But that's the last thing they need. They've just gotten Phil Hughes back off the disabled list. They don't need another starter to go down. Aaron Hill with 2 on and 2 outs. Yankees have always been tough when they score first, and they have a knack for scoring early in the ball game. Blue Jays would love to get out on top here.
Yankees score first. Their record is incredible.
Yankees have scored the first run in 55 of their 88 games. The ability to give their pitchers a little breathing room. With fastball inside, and Bartolo is ahead 1-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. We're in the first inning. Eric Thames hit a double with 1 out. Bautista walked, and then they advanced on the ground out. Blue Jays have 70 games remaining on their schedule. Working ball will be a full count.
Colon doesn't look as sharp as we have seen him at the beginning of the season. He would get the ball and boom, attack the strike zone. Right now, it looks like he is pitching around some of these Blue Jay batters.
Saw him in the early part of the season, April 20th, here at Rogers Center. He had a very strong outing, worked 6 2/3, had 7 strikeouts. Full count. Back up the middle, that's a base hit. Thames comes in, right behind him is Bautista, and there'll be no throw. Aaron Hill delivers a 2-out, 2-run single to center, and the Blue Jays are out in front.
Well, one of the things that Bartolo Colon has been able to do this year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, he's been able to shut down the opposition. He had only given up 5 hits for a 179 average this year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, but Aaron Hill's a little bit better this time. Gets a pitch that is up, and with a nice short swing right back through the middle to pick up 2 RBIs. Good piece of hitting there by Aaron Hill.
And that's timely as well. The number 5 hitter coming through just to take advantage of those 2 base runners in scoring position. Now Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Encarnacion had 8 hits on the road trip, 8 for 27. Really starting to swing the bat a little bit more aggressively, more confident with regular at bats.
Shoulders a little, or excuse me, the bat is a little bit flatter. He was out here early this afternoon taking some extra batting practice, and he was launching balls.
Had a 4-hit game on the 8th of July against the Indians. It's real encouraging that he is primed to have a big second half. Even his takes are much better. Seeing the ball more consistently, not really flying open at all.
Yeah, the shoulder is closed and his weight is on his back leg. He's ready to uncoil on those pitches.
You see the stolen base numbers for Hill, very impressive. There's a drive, but that's well foul. He got the head up.
Told you he was launching them today. In BP, they were reaching the second and third deck easily here in left center field. This time, just a little bit too quick with the trigger.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit just out in front of it. 3-1. You're right on about Bartolo Colon. He's struggling. Doesn't look the same. Not as sharp.
I don't remember him throwing so many breaking balls.
Right. First time we saw him, it was all fastball.
Here it is. He had that two-seam fastball working. He would use it to both sides of the plate, mostly to the outside part with the right-handers. He was throwing like 3 or 4 breaking balls already in the first inning. He's bounced all of them.
Way outside. 2 walks in the inning issued by Colon. He's going to get a visit from the pitching coach, Larry Rothschild.
And while Rothschild trots out there, let's take a look at the scouting report. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Bartolo Colon has always been power and command. In his career, over 2,000 innings pitched and just over 700 base on balls. He's been able to throw it at 100 miles an hour, and he's also got great command. He needs to stay grounded. That means in his career, he's had more ground ball outs than fly ball outs, and he's got that great tailing fastball where he'll get the ball on the ground, and this has been the comebacker right here. It's been a comeback story for Bartolo Colon this year, and also he's got that comeback two-seamer that we were just talking about that he can put on the outside part of the plate to the right-handers. But so far this first inning, it hasn't been that way.
And he had that very controversial stem cell surgery in the offseason that really rejuvenated his career. And he was somebody that they signed just kind of as a long shot, and he made the team in spring training. Travis Snyder swinging a red-hot bat with 2 on and 2 out. Takes the first pitch strike.
There it is. That was the fastball. That has been so good to him in the first half of the season. And he'll throw it and throw it and throw it.
Inside, a ball and a strike. The Jays have scored here first off Bartolo Colon. They lead 2-0 on Aaron Hill's 2-run single to center. Hill's 34th and 35th RBI of the season. Base hit left field. Aaron Hill getting away. Gardner's got a strong arm. The throw is offline, and the Blue Jays lead 3-0. Travis Snyder continues to swing a hot bat.
The ability to hit the ball where it's pitched. That has really benefited Travis Snyder since he's been recalled. Use the whole field. This time Colon goes away and he stays right on that pitch. He doesn't hit that 2 months ago. That's a ground out for Travis Snyder. Now it's a solid single to left field. Gardner throws well, but this ball is up the line, allowing Hill to sneak in with the inning's 3rd run.
Hill got a great jump on contact, running with 2 outs, and made a quick turn around third to score. Bouncing ball to third, booted by Nunez, and all hands are safe. The wheels have come off for the Yankees here in the first. Aaron Sebia gets the first on the air by the third baseman.
You could see that he was going to have trouble with that ball as soon as it was tapped to third base by Aaron Sebia. He could lay back on that and get the big bounce, but he charges it and takes the in-between hop. He's made 10 errors this year in limited playing time, and this one is just a careless error where all he has to do is lay back, catch it on the big hop, and he still has plenty of time to go to third to get the out.
9th man to hit in the inning. Rajai Davis goes after the first pitch. The Blue Jays have scored 3 here in the first. The Yankees have outscored their opponents in the first inning, 67-39 coming into this game. The Blue Jays have reversed that trend. .31 pitches thrown by Colon.
That certainly won't keep you around very long.
Encarnacion, Snyder, and Aaron Sebia on the bases. Bounce to third, but foul. Well, another good thing about this for the Blue Jays, you get Colon throwing 32, 33 pitches in the first inning of a 4-game series. You might get into their bullpen 2 and 3 deep here in game 1.
That could really put a hurting on you, blow you up in that first game. these long series like that, you want to get that first starter, give you 7 or 8 innings. Spread out those innings from the reliever.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 down. Bounced up the third baseline. Nobody's going to make a play there, and Davis picks up another RBI. An infield base hit. The Blue Jays have batted around. A little bit of everything for the Blue Jays in this first inning.
Well, the error certainly helped on the ball that was hit by Aaron Sebia. By Nunez at third base, kept the inning going and gives Rajai Davis the drive in a run. He just taps it down the third base line. He couldn't stand at home plate and roll it out there any better than that. It's on top of that sinker and it just dies. Wasn't going to roll foul either.
Back to the top of the order, Yunel Escobar. An anxious Yankee dugout. Bases remain loaded, 2 outs. There's the first call down to the bullpen. Larry Rothschild on the phone. Another strike inside this time.
Those last 2 pitches look like the Bartolo Colon that we have seen this year with the Yankees.
This has been a problem with Colon in the past. He'd come out just trying to get by in the first inning, and just like he was trying to finesse the Blue Jays, and now he's dialed it up the last 2 pitches. Another bouncer up the third baseline. Colon, no chance at all, and almost swipes it away. Another infield hit, 5-0 for the Jays.
Yeah, I know the Blue Jays aren't trying to roll the ball out there, but not a bad strategy because Colon doesn't move very well with that hamstring. And you can see him, he's not getting off the mound very well. They tested him over at first base, and now 2 down the third base line. Here he comes, and he knows his only play is maybe a shovel to home plate to get the runner at home, but it's not going to happen.
Well, you can see Colon with his hands on his knees behind the mound, catching his breath. 36 pitches now, and he has to get off the mound on this breaking ball. A desperation swipe of the glove. That's the best he could do. Eric Thames has already doubled. Bases are still loaded. It's a great start for the Blue Jays to the second half.
That's what you want. They really started gathering momentum on that last road trip. Had a good series against Boston. Should have swept the Indians. And they come out swinging here in the first inning.
Yankees do just exactly what they didn't want to do. Get the bullpen up in the first inning. Right-hander Luis Ayala starting to throw.
Yeah, that's one part of the Yankees that has really taken a hit with the injuries in the bullpen. Rafael Soriano is hurt.
Pedro Feliciano, Damaso Marte, all counted on to be in that bullpen. Jabba Chamberlain is out for the year. Just a lot of problems down in that bullpen.
That is 4 quality arms right there that they are missing. And you add to that David Robinson, that's another one. Mariano Rivera. That looked like it was going to be a strong point with the injuries, though. It's really hurt him.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Aaron Sebia at third. Davis at second. Escobar at first. 5-0 Blue Jays. Pop down the right left field side, and that's going to fall on the warning track. Five hits, 2 walks, and an error have contributed to Colon's problems.
It's not like they've really hit the ball that hard. Thames' double was blooped into left field. Hill had a 2-strike hit right back through the middle, and probably the hardest hit ball was the Travis Snyder single to left field. But you can take him any way you can get him against the Yankees.
Another pop-up down the left side. Long run for Nunez, and this one's into the seats. Nunez had a busy inning. Then over to the camera well, chasing a pop-up over there off the bat of Bautista. Had an error that proved costly on the Aaron Sebia ground ball. Colon's running out of gas.
He just is getting his sprints in now. Nunez, a couple of foul balls down the left field line. Not to mention a couple of dribblers up the third base line.
Colon has thrown 40 pitches in the first. Colon thought he had thrown strike 3. Driven to center field in deep. Curtis Granderson turns his back. It's bouncing and bounces out of the ballpark. 2 runs will come in to score as Thames has his second double of the inning. It's 7-0 Blue Jays.
This one hit a little bit harder than his first double. He covered that one. Colon tried to double up with a fastball, and Eric Thames was waiting for it.
Bartolo Colon gives up 7 runs on 6 hits in 2/3 of an inning, throws 42 pitches, and he's out of the ball game. 2 outs in the first. The Blue Jays have gotten into the Yankees' pen. Think that that's just a mirage. That is 7 for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. 7 runs on 6 hits of Bartolo Colon, and there's still 2 outs, 2 men on.
He had beaten the Blue Jays 9 times in his career with an ERA in the 3s versus the Blue Jays in his career, but he will be knocked out in the first inning. Luis Ayala will take over through 26 games this year. Ayala has pitched to a 133 earned run average, was signed by the Yankees as a minor league free agent back in February.
Jose Bautista drills it, but foul down the left field side. Bautista walked and scored his first time up. We are in the first inning. 7-0 Blue Jays. Called a balk, yes sir. It's 8-0. Ayala stepped off the mound, and Angel Hernandez called a balk.
Well, he stepped back with his left foot, keeping his right foot engaged to the rubber, and then stopped. You can step off with your right foot. Watch as he steps back in his windup with his left foot, goes back, and that's a ball.
Yeah, it sure is, because he started his windup. That was that first move. By moving that left foot initiates the windup. So a run comes in on the balk. Inside. 1-2 to Bautista. Blue Jays in this inning are 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Thames with a pair of doubles. Off the end of the bat. Eric Thames with 2 doubles in this inning. The first J with 2 hits in 1 inning since August 2nd of 2010. When Travis Snyder had a pair of doubles against the same team, the Yankees. Outside.
What more can go wrong for Joe Girardi's team in the first inning? We've had a balk, an error, a couple of walks, a couple of bleeders, a pitching change. And all the while, JoJo Reyes is hanging around the bench. Loving it.
He's going to have to go through his pregame again. Way outside. Martin just saved a run. Disappointing start for Bartolo Colon and the Yankees. Everybody anticipates getting into the second half. The Yankees trail the Boston Red Sox by a game. It's popped up. Derek Jeter at short. And the Blue Jays are finally retired. But they score 8 runs on 6 hits. A couple of walks and an error. And JoJo Reyes has been staked to a big early lead thanks to Eric Thames and the Blue Jay hitters. Bartolo Colon with 1 out, and Lynn hits this ball to first, and Colon really had to hustle to beat Lind at the bag.
Just barely got over there, but then he has to come off the mound here. And he's 38 years old. He's had some hamstring problems, and you can see not moving around very well off that mound.
And let's go back and give proper credit to Aaron Hill, who had a 3-2 out base hit to start that inning. He doesn't get that hit, who knows where the Blue Jays end up. But Hill got a big clutch hit to start the onslaught. 8-0 Blue Jays. Robinson Cano hitting cleanup. Big bouncing ball to second. 1 out. Bartolo Colon, the starter for the Yankees, went just 2/3 of an innings, and it was a forgettable outing.
Last time out, he gave up a season high 10 hits and a season high in walks and 4. This one not much better, just 2/3 of an inning, 3 earned runs. The error by Nunez opening up for 5 more runs to score. Did not record a strikeout and had a couple of walks, something that we haven't seen from Bartolo Colon.
Francisco Cervelli, the backup catcher, chatting with Colon. And I'll agree with you, Pat. I think there are basically 2 balls hit hard. The second Thames double and the Snyder line drive base hit to left.
Everything else found a spot, found a hole, a blooper, a bleeder, whatever it takes. But watching Bartolo Colon tonight, it was a different type of pitcher than the one we saw a couple of months ago. That one was, here's my fastball, try and hit it. Tonight, more curveballs, more changeups.
Looked like he was trying to pace himself and get into the flow of the game. Good pitch on the outside corner. Nick Swisher is behind the ball in 2 strikes. Swisher got off to a slow start, but he's picked it up over his last 22 games. Stays on that ball and fouls it into the seats. Swisher's hit .325 going back to the 14th of June. And it was a rough start for him. Last time we saw him, he was really scuffling.
He was coming out early. He was trying a little bit of everything. Even veterans who have been in the big leagues as long as Nick Swisher has, at times they have self-doubts. How tough this game is sometimes.
Another thing that might factor into it is the fact that he is a free agent at the end of this season. A lot of guys anticipating big years in their walk year and put too much pressure on themselves. Kevin Long, the great hitting coach for the Yankees. That ball is foul.
You just have to keep working. You have to believe in yourself. The game's hard enough that you start putting that added pressure on it. Trying to put up numbers just happen with good at-bats. That's what you should be thinking about.
2-2 cut on, and this Swisher strikes out.
Jojo Reyes, the scouting report for him tonight. Did you take a look at my scouting report before? Drive towards home. That's what he has to do. That's what you were talking about earlier, about staying on top and driving towards home plate. He needs some strikes with his cutter, I think, tonight against this great Yankee offensive team, and he needs a low pitch count. He needs to get in and get out, keep those pitches down. He has been averaging about 17 pitches per inning.
And that'll help his average. 1 pitch in and out. Russell Martin grounds to third base. Jojo Reyes has retired all 6 Yankees he's faced. Have taken to the Spirit, dressing up like the 80s, and a reminder of the top-selling albums of the 80s, of course, the Michael Jackson Thriller, right up there at the top. AC/DC, Back in Black, Dirty Dancing, signed Jennifer Grey, of course, and all that great dancing. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Yeah, got a chance to go watch him a few times in the 80s. I don't know if they were around back in the 80s.
Probably not, but they're into the spirit of things, and that's what we like. And the Blue Jays like the spirit of the 80s. They have an 8-0 lead here as they bat in the second. Luis Ayala on in relief of Bartolo Colon, who started and went 2/3 of an inning. First pitch swinging. Lind hits it off the end of the bat. Nunez got all twisted around and couldn't make the play. That's a hard play for Gardner, the left fielder, because he's over in the gap with the left-handed hitter.
And respecting the power of Adam Lind, Derek Jeter, the shortstop, probably had the best shot at making this catch. He would have a better angle on the ball than Nunez. Watch him, the third baseman here. He sees it. He starts backpedaling. Then right here tries to catch the ball over his head. And it falls in safely. As Nunez had trouble with the bouncer in the first inning, now has a trouble on a pop-up.
It's ruled a double for Lind. That starts the second inning. And Eduardo Nunez has had a forgettable night already.
He hasn't even come to the plate yet.
Once again, Aaron Hill hits, and I think he had the biggest hit of the night so far. A 3-2 base hit with 2 outs. That scored the first 2 runs of that 8-run first inning.
Stayed right on a breaking ball, hit it back through the middle. Boy, if Aaron can turn it on like the Aaron Hill we saw a couple of years ago, now you're talking about an offense that can score some runs. Up and down the lineup, Blue Jay batters have been putting the wood to the ball.
Gets jammed there. Ayala checks Lind at second. 1 out.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Blue Jays scored 8 runs in the first. That's a season high in the opening inning. That ties the franchise record of 8 going back to September of 07. September 28th of 2007 at Baltimore, the Blue Jays scored 8 runs in the first inning. So a historic start to the second half for the Blue Jays offense. This is where the scrambling really takes place now for Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, trying to piece together the rest of this game.
Counting pitchers and counting innings. How long can you go? If Ayala can't go long tonight, we might see the Yankees make some type of roster move to get another pitcher up here for the rest of this series.
They just picked up Sergio Mitre again. They got him from Milwaukee to add some depth, and he's a multiple inning guy. Corey Wade has just joined the team as well. He's made 9 appearances. Made his Yankee debut on the 15th of June. There's a base hit into center field. Adam Lind got a good break, and he'll come around third and score. Edwin Encarnacion drives in a run with a 1-out single to center.
Well, you mentioned it his last time up. He looks comfortable at the plate, staying on everything. This time picks on a pitch that is up. Instead of trying to pull it, it's away from him. He stays on it and drives it in the right center field to pick up his 20th RBI of the season. Just a soft liner into right field does the trick.
Travis Snyder delivered that RBI single to left field. Out in front of that off-speed pitch. We're in the 80s night here tonight, and to give you an idea about some of the youngsters on this team, 17 current Blue Jays were born in the 80s. Travis Snyder was born 11 days before the 88 Calgary Olympics.
Man, I feel old.
Perspective, doesn't it? Wow. Well, Eric Thames is 24, Travis Snyder's 23, and this is his 4th season He's played parts of 4 seasons with the Blue Jays already.
Came up, and in that first year that he was there, and Steve was just 25. Snyder had a 5 RBI game against the Yankees.
Bounce. Jeter stays at the bag at second and gets the double play. Boy, it looked like Snyder might have beat the throw, but Jeter just camped out at second, waited for the ball, and made a quick throw to first. Big high bouncer. Jeter waits on it, unloads in a hurry. It's bang, bang at first. Nation's most talented performers. Auditions are being held in Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax. Canada'sGotTalent.com has all the date and location information. We're looking for acts of all ages. Sign up, show up. Canada's Got Talent, looking for you. JoJo Reyes set to start the 3rd inning. It'll be Jones, Nunez, and Brett Gardner, 7, 8, 9 in the Yankees order. Andrew Jones hitting 195. And drives this ball to left field, and that ball is deep and gone. Andrew Jones got that high fastball and rides it out of the ballpark. His 5th homer of the season.
All of them against left-handed pitching, and that's why he is in there, to provide some power. And a left-hander starts for the other team, and we have been watching Andrew Jones for years clobber these types of pitches. 5th home run, 412 of his career. High fastball. Watch him get on top of it and just club it. Keeps that bat up there, finishes high, and the ball finishes out of the ballpark.
Eduardo Nunez batting for the first time, and Andrew Jones says, yeah, right up there, right around my letters, and he knows what to do with it. Eric Thames almost ran in too far. The ball carried on him, and he was able to make the catch.
Stay low as an outfielder when those line drives are coming at you. You can read them just a little bit better. He comes in, gets a good break, but then almost overruns it. Stays right with it to make the out. If you stay low and turn your body, you can see that ball a little bit better.
He's worked hard on his outfield play since he's joined the big leagues.
Every day he has been in the outfield, working on balls off the bat, working on charging and gloving and getting himself into throwing position by using his legs, working on balls in the corner. There's just so much that goes into playing the outfield.
Why doesn't that happen in the minor leagues?
Well, you're so concerned about hitting, and you spend so much time in the batting cage, and you know, let's be real, your bat's going to get you to the big leagues, and you can pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, but for the most part, young hitters, their bat is what's going to get them to the bigs. And now that he's here, he understands the importance of playing defense.
Gloved and knocked down by Escobar. Looked like he had caught the ball. It'll be a base hit for Gardner as he hit the ground. That ball popped out of his glove.
Well, that would have been a circus catch right there by Escobar. And the Yankees would have been saying, geez, we hit the ball hard and don't have anything to show for it. They hit bleeders and get hits, but Escobar, as he dove for it, it looked like it got in his glove and then out. You're right. It's in, and then when he hits the ground, it comes out. Just couldn't squeeze it.
Didn't have that ball in the webbing enough to close that glove, and it just popped right out once he hit that turf. Back to the top of the order for the Yankees, the captain, Derek Jeter. Yankees have scored a run here, the home run by Andrew Jones starting off the inning. A lot of controversy about Derek Jeter not going to the All-Star game. He had just come off the disabled list, but of course he had that great weekend against Tampa Bay at Yankee Stadium. The commissioner gave him a hall pass. Said, you know what, he's done so much for baseball, and if he felt like he was better off to rest over the All-Star break, he didn't seem to have a problem with that.
Do players owe it to baseball to have to go there?
I think we're going to see something come out of this next basic agreement to address that. You know, fans are involved, and of course Jose Bautista set a record with over 7 million votes cast for him to go to the All-Star game. And I think what's going to happen, this is my personal feeling, that players will be asked to sign a waiver. If elected, I will attend. And that way they'll be on the ballot and the fans will know that they will go.
And that's something that will happen early in the year, maybe March, April, May, before the fan balloting comes out. Before the ballots make it to the fans that they can vote on.
Right. I think there will be something that comes up to address it, because everybody wants to see the guys they voted play. And you can understand, I mean, how many Jeter's been to 12 All-Star games. He's just come off the disabled list with a calf injury. He needs the rest more than he needs that 13th All-Star game appearance. But for the fans' sake, I think they need to address that in this offseason.
And I think they would give him a pass, like you were saying, if they knew that he elected not to go. I mean, it's a grind.
Yeah. And then John Farrell talked about his commitment. He was a coach. He said there's just no time. You just fly out there, and he had a 3-hour delay on his trip out to Arizona and get there late Sunday night, and then you start the 2 days of functions. There's a line drive to right. Baines will back up, and it goes over his head all the way to the wall. Gardner comes in to score. Right behind him is Derek Jeter. He's going to score, and Granderson will end up at third. That's the second time we've seen Eric Thames get fooled by this artificial surface, coming in too close to a baseball and having it bounce over his head.
8 triples now for Granderson. He's right on top of this one. He's having a heck of a year. Thames gives ground, but not enough. He might have been better off just going ahead and trying to charge that ball and just block it any way he can. But once that ball gets over his head, 2 runs are going to score. And Granderson now has 8 triple. He's just the 3rd player in Major League history to have at least 7 triples, 25 homers in a season before the All-Star break. He joins Willie Mays and Eddie Matthews as the only players who can say they did that.
Pretty elite company for sure. Granderson has developed into a premier player since he's joined the Yankees and hooked up with Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach. Mark Teixeira. Hard hit ball to short. That'll score Granderson from third. There are 2 outs. The Yankees have cut into the 9-0 deficit. They've scored 4 here in the third off JoJo Reyes.
Even with Alex Rodriguez out of the lineup, this is still a very good offensive team. They can beat you with power. They can beat you with speed. They've got good average hitters, meaning they've got good on-base percentage. So Joe Girardi's team is not out of this by a long shot.
Robinson Cano hitting in the cleanup spot, taking over for Alex Rodriguez in that role. There's a base hit to right field. Yankees' fourth hit. JoJo Reyes had that long delay after that 8-run first inning. Came back and had a 1-2-3 second, but now the Yankees have jumped on him here in the third.
You know what I think he can't do is say I've got a 9-0 lead and I'm just going to throw fastballs in there and you guys get yourself out. I think the Yankees are just too good. He needs to maintain his same game plan. Use your cutter, use your changeup, challenge him with the fastball, keep the ball down.
Nick Swisher looks at a fastball downstairs. I think you're right. I think it's imperative upon Reyes and J.P. Arencibia to continue to pitch as if it were nothing
right.
game.
Nothing to nothing. Don't think about the score. Don't think about getting 5 innings and, hey, this is an easy win right here. Just pitch.
There's a long drive to left field. Travis Snider on the run at the track. Jumps and catches it. Right up against the scoreboard. Snider stayed with it. He and Davis banged together just before they hit the wall, but Travis Snider took charge and made a fine play to end the inning. High up over the top of Rajai Davis. All the way to the wall in left center.
Somebody's got to come up big, and it's Travis Snider this time, making a catch and getting a face full of the glove of Rajai Davis, but he stayed right with it. Showing good poise there, staying with that ball and ending the inning. After 4 runs had scored, Hector Noesi now comes on for the New York Yankees, the 3rd pitcher already for New York. He is a rookie. He was a starter in the minor leagues for New York. Noesi was signed by the Yankees as an undrafted free agent in 2004, made his way through the farm system as a starter.
This is his 3rd stint with New York this season. He was recalled on the 12th of June. Had been sent back to AAA on the 8th. Did not appear in a game of AAA. They needed him back, and it's been a real shuttle back and forth, especially in that bullpen. J.P. Arencibia reached on a error by the 3rd baseman. He came around to score as part of that 8-run first inning. Noesi's 24 years old. Down and away, pretty good spot with the fastball. This is his 7th season in the Yankees system. As Pat said, he's been primarily a starter throughout his minor league career. Breaking balls down and away.
So he has all 4 of the pitches that you need. Curveball, slider, changeup, and fastball. Right now they need innings from this youngster. Made 27 starts last year in the minor leagues for New York.
Fastball, and Aaron Sebia strikes out with 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Cleveland determined to hold on to their pennant contention status. They slipped a half a game behind the Tigers on the final day of the first half, and that's where they open up the second half. They lost 3 in a row before the start of tonight.
And a time to come out and make a statement when you start the second half. That's what the Indians are going to try and do. That one's going to go right down to the wire, I think, in the Central.
Big breaking curveball. And Davis is in the hole, 0-2. Now that we're past the All-Star game and the All-Star break, the next big deadline, the trade deadline. July 31st, and it appears as though there's going to be a lot of action, and the Mets got it started. Francisco Rodriguez was traded by the Mets to the Milwaukee Brewers.
The Brewers want to win this year. They have a small window of opportunity, and I think they know that.
There's a drive toward right center. Swisher with a nice running catch. Granderson wasn't going to be able to get there, and Granderson had backed him up so Swisher could go head out. Full steam ahead, and makes a nice running catch to Rajai Davis.
Nick Swisher, not really known as a great fielder, but he shows right there that he can go get him. This ball is driven to right field, and he takes a good angle at the ball. You see him going back, recognizing the ball right off the bat, and just plucks it right out of the air. Nice play. That would have been 3 if that ball got by him.
So with 2 outs, back to the top of the order. Escobar had a swinging bunt up the third baseline in the first inning. You can see Noesie's got a chance to be nasty. A crossfire arm action and a lot of good movement down and away from the right-handed hitters.
And his breaking ball sharp and tight. It looked like a good pitch down and away. Pitched in the Futures game last year for the Yankees as a representative of the world in 2010 in that Futures game.
Taking all the way. There's a strike. Escobar takes the walk.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Eric Thames will bat with 2 outs and 1 on. Thames off to a good start at the plate tonight. Pair of doubles. He scored a run and driven in 2. Hits this ball hard, but right to Jeter. And Jeter will beat Escobar to the bag, and Blue Jays are done in the third. Noesie has a good inning. Play 3 complete here at Rogers. It's 9-4 Blue Jays. John Farrell. And John, the prospects for the second half look to be very positive if Eric Thames and Travis Snyder continue to swing the bats the way they have tonight.
Yeah, you're right, Buck. I think their left-handed bat has allowed us to balance out our lineup a little bit more. It's given us some thump down in the bottom of the order with Travis in the 7-hole. He again made one heck of a play to end last inning, showing both sides of the game, and we'll need every out, every run that we can score here tonight.
What do you tell a pitcher when he's up 9-0 early against the Yankees?
You know what's the biggest thing is to not take into account the scoreboard. He's still got to use all of his pitches. He's still got to execute a game plan, and when he's down the zone is when he's been best.
John, thanks for your time.
Okay, guys.
Well, that's exactly what we thought about JoJo Reyes. You just have to discount the scoreboard and make sure you focus on this Yankee lineup, because as we've seen in the past, they can come back and score in bunches.
I would think that it would be easy as that ball is grounded to Escobar. When you're up 9-0 and you say, okay, I'm going to throw my get-ahead fastball. BP fastball, here it is, first pitch, I'm going to get ahead, strike one. Now the Yankees start turning on it, hitting it. And JoJo Reyes found himself in hot water after the home run by Jones. Gardner got a hit, a walk, another triple. And the Yankees came out firing last inning.
Well, they have a pedigree, that's for sure. They have one thing on their mind, and that's running down the Boston Red Sox and getting to the postseason. Derek Jeter has said it several times since he's come to the Yankees. The only thing that matters with New York is winning. Andrew Jones hits it to the third baseman. 2 quick outs. They mentioned the 80s. That was really the start where the Blue Jays learned how to win. On this date, 1985, the Toronto Blue Jays had a 2.5-game lead over the New York Yankees. The Tigers were right there in third place. It was a very tough division. Look at the depth of that division.
How about that? Milwaukee had a great team, and they were 10 games under 500. Boston. What about Cleveland?
Pretty good Cleveland team. Blue Jays would win their first division championship on Saturday afternoon. Doyle Alexander pitched a complete game. Ron Hasse flew out to George Bell in left to end the ball game. There's a pop-up playable for Bautista over near the Jays dugout. Good inning for JoJo Reyes. Just 7 pitches in the fourth to dispatch the Yankees. October 5th, the Jays clinch the East. Doyle Alexander on the mound, pitching to Ron Hasse, and the crowd was on their feet. George Bell, the left fielder, makes the catch, and the Blue Jays would go to the postseason for the first time in franchise history. And George Bell is here tonight, sitting with Paul Beeston. They go back a long way, believe me.
He's acting like the first time he's seen himself on television.
And we're happy to say that George will join us here in the booth upon the level of excellence for his outstanding career. And he and Paul Beeston both on the level of excellence for what they have done to contribute to the success of this organization. George a funny guy, boy, and he had a chance to talk to a lot of the Yankees and the Blue Jays around the batting cage earlier this afternoon.
He had us in stitches. Talking to Cano.
Jose Bautista. Bautista has erased most of George Bell's home run records. Last year, Bautista hit 54. That erased Bell's franchise record for a single season. This year, Bautista broke his first half record of home runs before the All-Star break with 30. And George Bell has said time and time again he's happy that Jose Bautista has taken his place in the record books. Hot shot. Deep hit short. Jeter a long throw. Not in time.
You know, we had to wait because we've seen Derek Jeter do this time and time and time again in his career. When it left the bat, you said base hit. No way. But Jeter gets over there and that patented jump, leap, throw across the infield. Bautista has to leg it out. Jeter very accurate and very strong with that throw all the way across the infield.
Not much of a chance to get Bautista, but boy, he made the throw right on the money. Jeter now 37 years old. Still playing with that enthusiasm we saw when he first got to the Yankees. And he might be the biggest jokester on the whole team around the batting cage. He's constantly giving everybody the gears. Adam Lynn has a double in 2 trips tonight, average up to 302. Well, he's quietly had a very good season.
He was hot earlier this year when we went down to Texas and he caught 3 or 4 home runs in that series. Kept it going. The RBIs started piling up and then went on the DL and missed 24 games.
His 4 weeks with back problems related to his positional change coming from the DH outfield role to the first base position. Lance Berkman of the Cardinals talked about the same problem when he came in to fill in for Albert Pujols. A line drive into right. That'll get down in front of Swisher. Bautista advances to second.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So the first 2 are on for Aaron Hill. Blue Jays lead it 9-4. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning, and in case you missed it, the Blue Jays scored 8 runs on 6 hits in the first.
Aided by a big error. That allowed 5 more runs to score. By Eduardo Nunez taking over at third base for Alex Rodriguez.
Rodriguez had knee surgery during the All-Star break. And torn meniscus. They expect him to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Joe Girardi, I'm sure, thinks that Alex will be back shorter than that.
Yeah, he has always been able to get back quickly from injuries. But if you're talking 4 to 6 weeks, you're talking September now. So it'd be like adding an all-star for the stretch drive.
Check swing foul. When you look at the second half schedule, the Yankees play a lot of teams sub 500 to start their second half. Both the Yankees and the Red Sox will meet second half.
A lot of road games also for the Yankees, especially to start off the second half.
The Yankees have only played 39 games on the road, so they've got a lot of road games coming in the second half. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, will play most of their games at home. Doesn't really matter to the Yankees. They have so many veterans. They will know that it doesn't make any difference where you play them. You're going to end up with 81 on the road and 81 at home.
It doesn't matter, does it? You know, Jeter won't let them lay down.
Jorge Posada, one of the core four that has now been reduced to three. Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, and Jorge Posada. Came up in the mid-90s. Russell Martin wants to go out and have a chat with his pitcher.
And he's not happy either. Usually you'll see a catcher come out, jog out there, but right now he's having a lot of trouble getting the signs together with his young pitcher, Noesi.
Everybody converges on the infield to make sure that they straighten things out. It's not exactly how the manager and the pitching coach envisioned starting the second half. They're too deep into the bullpen. And the Blue Jays have had some kind of offensive night already. Every Blue Jay already tonight has scored a run. And we're in the fourth inning. And ball got away from Martin, but Bautista had to hold his ground as Hill strikes out, 1 out. The great Roberto Alomar will be inducted into the Hall of Fame at Cooperstown on July 24th. Sunday, July 31st, the Blue Jays and Rangers will hook up. You can come down early for a pregame Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame Day. The ceremony will start early on that Sunday afternoon. First 20,000 fans receive a Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame bobblehead. Bounce to third. Nunez steps on the bag across the diamond. Encarnacion is doubled up. Jose Bautista looked like he turned his ankle coming into the bag at third base. George Poulos is out to attend to him.
Didn't take anything for granted. It looked like he got late. Look how late his slide is. And then that ankle turned underneath him, that right ankle, as they went in for a slide. And that is not good when you see that ankle turn over like that.
Looked like his spikes got caught in the dirt as he was expecting them to slide along the dirt. And it rolled over. They're going to try to put his weight on it. But that is obviously a major concern. But you could see the ankle roll when those spikes hit the dirt. John McDonald, just in case Bautista can't continue. But we'll let you know about Bautista when we come back. Now it's time for an update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. Endorsement. What's right?
This way? Towards Tabby.
Okay. Back here at Rogers Center, top of the fifth inning, the Blue Jays out in front 9-4. Brett Gardner, the number 9 hitter for New York, takes a strike from Jojo Reyes, and we are pleased to be joined by the Senior Vice President of Baseball Operations, General Manager Alex Anthopoulos. And Alex, big second half expectations, I would think, with the promotion of Thames and the recall of Travis Snyder. How encouraged are you about what you've seen of those two young hitters?
They both played very well, the short time that they've been back up. Well, I guess really for both of them actually been back up here, but I definitely expect the club to play better in the second half. There's a lot more talent on the field. A lot of the guys that we counted on to start the year had to go back down. Cecil, Snyder, guys like that. And it's nice to see those two back up and a guy like Thames who's come up and hit very well.
When you talk about young players having to go down to the minor leagues and tinker with their swing, reinvent themselves as a pitcher, how satisfying is it when they come back up here?
When they come back up here and they've made the adjustments, it's great to see. It's gratifying also for the coaches as well. And, you don't get to hear about Chad Matola's name or Marty Brown's name. And those are the ones that are sitting down there in Vegas, 110-degree heat, doing the work.
Obviously a very frightening situation with Bautista to end the inning. Obviously, you haven't had time to check on it just yet, but
I'm going to check actually right now. Twisted right ankle. We'll see the doctor now. So it sounds like he'll be all right.
Twisted right ankle. Certainly anything that happens with him. Obviously, the play at the All-Star game got everybody's attention as well. How did you feel about that?
I've been asked about that a lot, and I didn't really react to it. If he had dove head first, something like that, or come crashing into the wall and made a catch, we've seen a lot of players hurt their wrists. I would have been more concerned, but the fact it was a sliding catch, feet first, he had his feet to brace himself. I just thought it was a great play. I wasn't concerned at all.
It's a great platform for him. We have seen him play on a regular basis all year long. He has played like that all year for us, but now to get that kind of recognition must be satisfying to him as a player and to you as an organization that he's getting the kind of recognition he deserves.
No, there's no doubt about it. He definitely deserves it. He works incredibly hard. I think it's, you're even more proud of the fact that this guy was the all-time leading vote getter. And I remember guys like Ken Griffey Jr. and guys like that. And for him to beat all those guys and be recognized across baseball, Canada, the United States, Dominican, it's a great accomplishment. It's great for, obviously, Canada, Toronto, and especially for him.
Brett Laurie makes a step forward tonight with a start down in Dunedin. What have you heard about his start tonight?
I just gotten some update on the two at-bats. I think one he struck out. I was told 4-pitch at-bat, struck out on a ball way off the plate. Second one, I think he grounded out to third base. So we get updates from our trainers down there. Feels good. He's chomping at the bit. We exchanged texts last night. Feels ready to go. He's a little like a caged animal who's been dying to get back in playing. So we're excited to have him back, and hopefully he can get back to Las Vegas soon and be back to the player list.
Well, Curtis Granderson, again, a bang-bang play at first, and Granderson beat JoJo Reyes to the bag.
That's been a play that has really hurt JoJo Reyes this year. He's a left-handed pitcher. He falls off towards the third base side. Watch him here. So he's a little bit late getting over there, turning around, and Granderson with that good speed just beats him there.
JoJo got off the mound in pretty good shape. Granderson just runs better than JoJo and had a step lead on him. So there are two outs with Granderson at first. Kyle Draybeck, what's the schedule with Draybeck and how has he progressed? His last two starts were pretty positive.
No, he pitched very well his last two starts. He actually was throwing tonight, got hit a little bit, was taken out in the third inning, had an issue with his left arm, his left shoulder. It's not going to be anything severe or anything serious, but it was precautionary. I didn't obviously get the details. But no, he's doing very well. He's throwing strikes. He's much more composed. Stuff is still there. He's up to 97, and I was just actually talking to our AGM, Jay Sartori, in the box, and we were talking about Kyle, and knowing that Las Vegas, the numbers aren't necessarily going to be great, and even a guy like Brett Cecil, when he was down there, took a little over a month or more than that to really get going. He scuffled for quite a few starts, so Kyle's going to be fine. Could take a little bit of time, but his stuff is there, and we still think he's got a chance to be a very high ceiling front of the rotation type starter.
What do you want to see from him where you say he's ready to come back?
I'd say one, pounding the zone with the four-seam fastball and being able to get ahead with that. The other stuff, he's going to always have that changeup and that curveball, but really getting ahead with that fastball and also not being rattled when he does give up some runs. And Las Vegas isn't the worst place to be with that respect, because you're going to have to learn to maybe give up some runs early and grind your way through it and go 6 innings or more. And that's going to happen when you pitch against teams like Boston and New York, especially in those environments.
You mentioned about Brett Laurie. Next step, What is that for him? What's the progression, and are you anticipating him here in the next couple of weeks?
No, I really don't know. I mean, I'd love to say he's going to be here soon, and that's my hope. But again, he's going to have to continue to play. I guess he's just starting now in the Florida State League. He's going to end up doing that. Assuming he does well and the health is fine, then he'll be cleared to leave Florida and go back to game action in Las Vegas. And then we just want to see him get back to where he was before he got hurt. And like we had talked about, he was very close to being called up. Have the same quality of at-bats, be selective at the plate, and still play very good defense that he was playing. So how long it takes to get him back into that groove, I don't know. But the sooner he can get back to Vegas, it'll be great for us.
You have time to stick around for another half? Alex, thank you. Alex Anthopoulos will be back when we come back to Rogers Center. Blue Jays up by 5. Fifth inning, and we are pleased to be joined by the general manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, Alex Anthopoulos. And Alex, let's look at your Double-A team. Very good feeling about the first half. They finished in first place, well represented in the Eastern League All-Star game. You must be very pleased with their development.
Oh, we're very pleased. It's as talented a group of position players as we've had. A lot of scouts are telling us that you know, they're one of the better teams in the league, and rightfully so with all that talent. But a lot of people are going through there, from our scouts to other team scouts, saying this is a great collection of players. Just from a position player standpoint, I find it's one of the areas that's really lacking in the game. There's not a lot of really good ones, and we have a bunch of pretty good future big league players there. So it's a great group. Sal Fasano and the staff have done a great job there, and it's an exciting affiliate to go and watch.
Break down Anthony Gose for us and his development.
He's done a great job. You know, we tend to forget that he's only 20, and we talk about this great high-ceiling Lansing outfield that we have. They're all 20 years old as well, and Anthony's in New Hampshire, and his strikeout rate is down from where it was a year ago. His walk rate is up. The power is up. Defensively, he's as good as he's ever been. He can throw. And you realize how hard it is to find a center fielder that can play Gold Glove defense and have a throwing arm to boot. So, and the caught stealing percentage. He's got 41 stolen bases at the All-Star break, and his caught stealing percentage is significantly down. So he's made unbelievable strides, but he is 20, and we're not going to rush him, as tempting as it might be. But just want to continue to get him at bats.
Are there some players there that have surprised you as the season gone along?
Sure. I think Joel Carreño, who we added to the 40-man in the offseason, one of our starters, has really done a great job there. His stats are very good. Strikeouts are outstanding. He's got a very good slider. Moises Sierra is someone that missed pretty much all of last year. He was eligible in the Rule 5 draft. We don't want to take a chance to lose him, though we did debate it internally and figured, you know what, he's only been in Dunedin. He had a cup of coffee in New Hampshire 2 years ago. Is this guy really going to stick and get picked? But we just said we're not going to take that chance with his talent. So he's got a great arm. He's got great power. They said at the home run derby at the All-Star game, he just put on a show.
But he didn't win, right?
No.
He didn't win.
No. He was, but you know, all of our scouts that were in there just said he was unbelievable. He's playing very good defensively as well, and he's young. And that lineup is just very strong. And another guy, Mike McDade, who was a 6th-round pick. He's a big man. He's a big kid, I guess. But he's probably the best defensive first baseman we have. and he's a Gold Glove caliber defensive first baseman, which you don't see a lot. And our former scouting director who's with us now is a scout, John Lalonde, and his staff did a great job. They got that guy in the 6th round, and that was a great pick, and he's done a great job. So those are the guys that aren't talked about as much, but they're having great years.
He won the home run hitting contest.
Yes, he's got great power. Like I said, great glove, great swing. He went to the Arizona Fall League last offseason as a young player, hit extremely well, so he's really made great strides.
One guy that we hear about from other scouts, other team scouts, is the shortstop, Danny Hechavarria. They say, and I've heard this from several veteran scouts, that he could play shortstop right now in the big leagues.
Yeah, he's, I've gotten to see him quite a bit, but just the game reports we read from Sal Fasano each night. And Sal Fasano, obviously, we all know, played in the big leagues for a long time, says he's the best defensive shortstop he has ever seen. And for him, he was throwing around Hall of Famers like Omar Vizquel, which is incredible praise. The big question with Adeiny is his bat and how long it's going to take to come. But the tools are there. He's got some power. He's learning the game. We're trying to get him to be a little more selective. He's got such good hand-eye that he makes such contact that, again, if he does chase, rather than a swing and miss and get another shot at that pitch, he's going to ground out or foul out, and that'll ultimately lower the batting average.
Alex, thank you so much for an update, a very in-depth update. Good luck in the second half.
All right, guys, enjoyed it.
Thank you. Alex Anthopoulos and JoJo Reyes set to go back and work the 6th. Comfort zone. Our 80s night Blue Jays fans front and center watching a big Blue Jays lead here as the Jays jumped out to an 8-run first inning. 80s night, a lot of themed clothing around and all night long. The graphics you're seeing on your screen too, those are exactly what we would feature on television broadcasts during the decade of the 80s.
Love it.
It's simple.
Yeah, cool. So nice.
Nick Swisher drives it into left field. A leadoff single to start the 6th. John McDonald came into the game defensively, taking over for the injured Jose Bautista. Bautista went into third base on a double play off the bat of Edwin Encarnacion and rolled over his ankle. And we heard it from the general manager, Alex Anthopoulos, that his report that came across his phone was that it was a sprained ankle and he's going to see the doctor.
Hopefully it's just a couple of days, a day-to-day type of thing. You saw how quickly his ankle rolled and then came right back.
Matt Laporta of the Cleveland Indians was out about 3 weeks with a high ankle sprain. There are all different degrees of ankle sprains, but a sprain sometimes can be worse than a broken ankle.
That's what I was waiting to hear, if they had high ankle sprain, because you're right, those things can take 4 or 5 weeks to heal. You're in a walking boot and then you've got to get back into shape and baseball shape, but just rolling his ankle is a lot different.
Russell Martin pops it over near the seats. And out of play. Well, that's the thing about Jose Bautista. He's going to play the same, whether it's in Arizona at the All-Star game or here with a big lead against the Yankees. He's always going to play it the same way, and he slid into third base. Caught the spikes in the dirt, rolled over that ankle. And as soon as we get any more information, we will bring you up to date. 1-2 to Russell Martin. Upstairs, 2-2. Officially, the news has come over the intercom. Bautista has a twisted right ankle, and he is day-to-day. That's the official word. Just over McDonald at third base. Russell Martin has a base hit. Swisher will stop at second. There's not a lot of give up in this Yankee lineup either.
No, they have been through the war so many times. They've been through this down by a lot. They just go up there, put good at bats. That ball was up by Reyes. Wasn't hit that hard, and it just is over the glove of McDonald. Johnny Mac climbing the ladder and almost came up with it.
So Martin has his first hit of the night. Swisher at second. First two aboard here in the sixth. Andrew Jones hit a home run his first time up. He got a high fastball out over the plate, jumped all over it and hit it into the bullpen area.
And you know, center. That's what he's looking for in this at bat. A couple of runners on, a chance to get the Yankees even closer. One pitch, one area, looking for that ball up and trying to uncork one.
Andrew Jones hit 51 home runs for the Braves in 2005. Phenomenal defensive outfielder. Ten-time Gold Glove winner in center field for the Braves. There's a long drive left field. It's got the distance. It is gone. Three-run home run for Andrew Jones, and the Yankees are clawing their way back into this.
They are right back in this game. This makes it 9-7. Nobody out in the sixth inning. It's exactly what he wanted. He wanted a ball up and something that he could extend through. He hit 2 home runs against the Blue Jays when he was a member of the White Sox last year, and now he's got 2 as a member of the Yankees. Stays square with that ball. Didn't drop that back shoulder. Stayed square and hit a laser into the second deck in left field. He now has 6 home runs this year, all of them against left-handed pitching.
5 times Andrew Jones has hit 30 home runs and driven in 100. And now he's a platoon player, but tonight he's doing exactly what the Yankees need. There's another drive to the gap in left center. Rajai Davis on the run. That's a nice running pitch. Little extra gear right there for Davis as he closed ground quickly.
Not everybody in baseball has that extra gear like Rajai Davis. You can see from this angle where he is playing and how he just scoots and plucks it before it hits the ground. Saving extra bases. A little bit extra as he stretches out for that one.
That's the first out of the inning. It's now 9-7 Blue Jays. The Yankees have scored 7 unanswered runs.
They lead Major League Baseball in home runs coming into this game with 123 home runs. So they are never out of any game.
Plays Perez, the left-hander, first to start to loosen up. Everybody's starting to stir down in that bullpen.
Each one of those pitchers knows the situation, knows when John Farrell wants to use them. They'll go off and start getting themselves ready. They'll find out the lineup. And who's coming up?
Thing that presents such a problem for opposing managers, the Yankees have switch hitters in their lineup. Mark Teixeira, Nick Swisher, and they've also got a couple on the bench in Posada and Pena.
So you can't really go matchup left on left, right on right.
There's a little looper into left field, and that's going to get down in front of Travis Snyder. Brett Gardner, big turnaround first. He'll stop there. 4 hits in the inning, and John Farrell has popped out of the dugout. Looks like he's going to make the call to the bullpen. He's got Luis Perez ready, and JoJo Reyes will hand the ball over with 1 out here in the 6th. The Yankees have scored 7 runs on 10 hits, and the runner on base is Reyes' responsibility. Luis Perez when we come back to Rogers Center. On with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Perez last worked on Sunday against the Indians. Had 2 innings of 1-hit relief. Walked 2 and struck out 2.
They might need multiple innings from Luis Perez tonight, and 1/3 of his 21 games this year have been 2 innings or more. Comes in with a good fastball that's got movement in the strike zone, a breaking ball. And right now they need strikes.
Andrew Jones, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs tonight. That's his 42nd multi-home run game of his career. And Jones has been the big factor in the Yankees getting back into this ball game. So back to the top of the order. Derek Jeter is 0 for 2 with a walk. But Gardner always a threat to run. He's 23 for 33. Caught a little bit more frequently this year than we've seen in the past.
A lot of those were early this season for Brett Gardner. He's much better lately.
Jeter hitting .268 for the season. One of the best hit and run guys in all of baseball. Hits the ball so well to all parts of the field, but certainly in this situation with Gardner, that's always a possibility.
Stays right in there too, and Perez tries to go inside. Got some options with just 1 out. You mentioned Brett Gardner is 18 for his last 22 stealing bases.
Bouncing ball up the middle into center field. Gardner will stop at second base. Jeter has his first hit of the night.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
2 on, 1 out. The Yankees have now out-hit the Blue Jays 11-10.
And they've got a player up there now in Granderson with those 25 home runs. Can put them ahead with one swing.
Takes the first pitch, strike. Biggest turnaround in Granderson's career is his ability to hit against left-handed pitching since he's joined the Yankees. 9 home runs against lefties. He's at .263. Out in front of that pitch.
Where there was a time when he was with the Tigers that you just roll the ball up there and he'd get himself out if it was a left-hander. But he's balanced now. He's spread out. He's keeping 2 hands on that bat. Very level swing. And very dangerous against left-handers.
And Kevin Long had a lot to do with that. You can see Long and Andrew Jones talking about what they have seen tonight. But the Yankees have hit their way right back into this game. Appeal down at third, denied by the veteran Jerry Davis. Off the end of the bat, the breaking ball had Granderson fooled. The Yankees are in the midst of an 8-game road trip, and it's unusual. They have 2 4-game series back-to-back here at Rogers Center, and then they go to Tropicana Field to take on Tampa Bay.
Right out of the chute after the All-Star game. You mentioned that they have more road games in the second half than home game.
It's popped out of play down the left side. After they finish up with Tampa Bay, they go back to Yankee Stadium. Oakland's in for 3, Seattle for 3, and then Baltimore. So their schedule is very, very friendly. Then they go to Chicago to take on the White Sox for 4 before they head to Fenway for a weekend series, the first weekend of August. First and second, 1 out. Out in front of that off-speed pitch. Luis Perez making some adjustments against left-handed hitters. Gave up a big home run to Chase Utley in the Phillies series, and then the grand slam to Travis Hafner. But it's all about learning what to do, what counts to really be aggressive, and what counts to be a little more discreet. There's a breaking ball, gets Granderson. Big strikeout for Perez.
When he's down, he's good. The home run to Chase Utley was up. The home run to Hafner was up. And now here, breaking ball, down. And he gets the out as Aaron Sebia smothers that one for the second out. With that great movement that he has with his fastball, when he's down, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs. And he's going to keep the ball in ballpark.
Mark Teixeira. Bouncing ball. Hill at second. Plenty of time, and Perez gets out of it. Gives up a base hit, but gets Granderson and Teixeira. The Yankees still trail by 2. previous at bat when he reached base.
Yeah, it looks like it wasn't just at third. You see him jam his foot on first base. A lot of times you can jam your heel or your Achilles tendon if you don't hit that base right. And you can tell something was wrong with Bautista. He made his way around to second base as he tries to walk that one off. And then this is the one we all saw where he rolled that ankle as his spikes caught in the dirt. And he grimaces in pain, but he was able to walk off the field, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, it sure is. George Poulos takes him down the steps, and he'll have that attended to. He was going to see a doctor in the clubhouse. I'm sure they've already had x-rays, so now it's just a matter of icing that ankle down, trying to keep the swelling down as much as possible.
And stay off of it as much as possible, so John Farrell's going to have to figure out what he's going to do the rest of this game without his big slugger.
It's an interesting game. The Blue Jays were up 9-0, and the Yankees have come back with 7 unanswered runs. Andrew Jones with a couple of home runs and 4 RBI. Jojo Reyes goes 5 1/3. He's charged with all 7 runs. He gave up 10 hits. Hector Noesi's done a nice job of shutting down the Blue Jay hitters. This is where his starter background really becomes an asset.
He had made over 20 starts last year in minor leagues for the New York Yankees. Makes this team now. You talked about him ping-ponging back and forth between AAA, but you can see the value of a guy, a young guy, who can give you multiple innings out of that bullpen.
You know, Escobar has been on base twice. He had an infield hit and walked. 1 for 2. Right on the outside corner. Go back and look at Jojo Reyes' line for the outing here tonight. Goes 5 1/3, gives up 10 hits, 7 earned runs, and once it got out of whack, he retired the first 6 he faced, and Andrew Jones snapped that with a home run in the 3rd.
They would add a couple more runs. It's that 1 inning.
Escobar with his 2nd hit of the night starts off the 6th.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So leadoff man aboard here for Eric Thames. Thames has had a couple of doubles. Good start to his night, hitting .318 for the season. One of the young guys that Alex Anthopoulos, the GM, talked about, brings some energy and some balance in the lineup.
And when you talk energy, it's just the way he runs the bases, the way he plays the game, the enthusiasm he brings to the ballpark every day.
It's jammed on this pitch, and it's playable for Nunez. Thames is out.
We have seen him hit that pitch out of the ballpark somehow, that inside pitch, and that is going to be a pitch that he's going to get a lot of here in the 2nd half. I think teams are going to try and pound him in, make him get hit the head of the bat out. So just another thing to work on.
John McDonald will bat for the first time. He came in defensively, taking over for Jose Bautista in the 5th. Outside, we talk about Noesi with that high 3/4 delivery. Everything he throws is cut to the outside part of the plate, and then he has a good slider and a good breaking curveball.
He's got good command also for his minor league career. Noesi has averaged 8 strikeouts and about a walk per 9 innings. So he's going to be around the plate. Add-on runs. That's what the Blue Jays are looking for right now. Just stop the momentum that the Yankees have created with those 2 big innings.
That's probably the biggest thing about the whole game. You got to be able to score a run just so the Yankees don't feel like they can come back without any challenges. Noesi in his 4th inning of work. Boone Logan, the left-hander, the only left-hander the Yankees have, starting to loosen up. A base hit into center field for John McDonald. Jose Bautista had a good defensive play during the All-Star game, but once again you'll notice it's his right ankle that hits that wall down the right line.
Plays the game the only way he knows how, all out. And that right ankle, the last couple of times he has put on the baseball uniform, has taken a beating. Slides to make that catch against Brian McCann, and then a couple of times here tonight.
But you know, this time of the year, you get worn down, you're a little tired, and then you have something like that. You bang up your ankle once, and it's going to be a lingering thing, and then seem to really come to a head on that slide at third. Well, Joe Girardi with a very slow walk to the mound. Adam Lind is the scheduled batter. He's got Boone Logan ready down in the bullpen.
He knows how important momentum is. His team has fought back from 9-0, now just down by 2, so he's going to play percentages.
What a job by Noesi. He will turn things over to the left-hander to deal with Adam Lind. It's Boone Logan. Yankees trail by 2. Blue Jays trying to stop the momentum here in the 6th. And he has come on to face Adam Lind. 2 Blue Jays on with 1 out.
The only left-hander that you mentioned, Buck, in the bullpen for the New York Yankees, so they're going to play that card right here, right now in the 6th inning. Logan, the left-hander, has done a good job for New York. He's held opponents to 2 earned runs in his last 14 appearances. And right now he's going to face Adam Lind, and he's faced him before. 8 times Lind has faced Boone Logan. He's looking for his first hit.
Joe Girardi knows those matchups very well. The first pitch strike. Generally, when you get a left-hander to a left-handed batter, if he can command the outside corner with a fastball, he can have success.
Because the breaking ball looks like the fastball. They like to keep the breaking ball away from left-handed batter. You're right. If you can throw that fastball away, it'll open up that breaking ball away.
Two pitches. Logan's ahead. Adam Lind has hit left-hander as well, but as Pat mentioned, he has yet to figure out Boone Logan. Lind's hitting .314 against left-handers. Stays with that one, but pops it up Cano in shallow right field. Lind's retired. Blue Jays will look to Aaron Hill to deliver with 2 outs again.
Got a huge hit in the first inning. Hit Aaron Hill. 2 out single to center field to get the scoring started.
Escobar at second, John McDonald at first. The Yankees have scored 7 straight runs to close to within 2. Keep it short. No play at second. McDonald beats the throw. Hill has a hit. Good job by John McDonald to get a good break with 2 outs. It's an infield hit for Aaron Hill.
Well, if you are that back runner at first base and there is a runner at second base, you can get out there. That's what McDonald does. Look at his secondary lead. He is almost halfway to second base when the ball is hit by Hill. There's his secondary. He reads it, and he makes it without a slide to second.
Pretty obvious when you don't have to slide. And McDonald did a good job. That keeps the inning alive for the dangerous Edwin Encarnacion. Well, the Blue Jays need a big hit. Something to get the life back in that dugout.
It was there in the second inning when they scored their 9th run, but Yankee relief pitching has shut them down. Looking for that one big hit.
Just foul. Escobar danced out of the way. Interesting numbers for Encarnacion in his season splits. He's hit just .210 against lefties. He's got better coverage on the outer half of the plate than he does on the inside part of the plate. Likes to extend his arms out over the plate. Bases loaded. Boone Logan facing Edwin Encarnacion with 2 outs. There's a base hit to left field. Escobar comes in. McDonald's on the way home. The ball is cut off the throw to third in time. And the run counts. Both runs count. Angel Hernandez emphatically pointing to the plate. Encarnacion delivers another key 2-out hit.
You have to position yourself behind home plate, and that's Angel Hernandez saying 1 and 2 runs will score.
Encarnacion delivers a base hit, and this is why it's important. Everybody runs hard.
Especially that back runner, McDonald, coming hard. He's safe at the plate. But when that runner gets thrown out at third base, watch Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, point right away to make sure that run crossed.
McDonald slides across home plate before the out is made at third, and Butterfield making sure that Angel Hernandez is right on top of that play. Encarnacion gets a couple of RBIs. He's driven in 3 tonight. Whoa. Perez put one right over the top of Cano's helmet. Intentional or not, this is frightening. Wow. Take you a while to regroup after that. Top of the 7th inning, Blue Jays again with a 4-run lead. Cano making sure that next one was a little bit more friendly. 2 balls, no strikes. Inside again.
It was pretty obvious where they want to go against Robinson Cano. Inside. They want to crowd him a little bit with those fastballs. But right now, they got to think about getting outs. Get back in that dugout as quickly as possible. And I think that's why you see Eric Sebia saying, get the ball down, take your time.
There's a strike, 3-1. It's exactly the mindset now of John Farrell, Bruce Walton, the pitching coach. Walton on Wakamatsu, the bench coach. Everybody's saying, okay, let's just get some outs. Don't encourage the Yankees. They can get back into this thing. They've already erased a 9-run deficit tonight. Broken bat, base hit. When you can hit with half a bat.
And he can hit. Shows you how strong Robinson Cano is, that you can shatter a bat like that and it can end up right about where Aaron Hill starts, and you can still get it through the infield. There is Aaron Hill where he starts. That's where the head of the bat's going to end up, but the ball's going to end up in center field.
They mentioned the Yankees initially erased a 9-0 deficit. They made it a 9-7 game. The Blue Jays' largest lead surrender, 8 runs, and they did that 4 times. Most recently, July 25th, 09 against Tampa Bay. Flirting with danger up there,
yep.
Belt high and higher.
Got against a club that leads the major leagues in home runs. They've had another multi-home run game, the Yankees. Compliments of Andrew Jones. That's their 32nd, which is the best in all of baseball. And you are right. You are flirting with disaster when you're throwing the ball up there.
The Yankees have the swagger the Blue Jays are looking for. No matter what the score is, they always feel like they can come back and win a game. Bounced foul.
That was a good pitch there, down. And with the movement again that Perez has on his fastball, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs if he keeps the ball down.
Looks like Girardi's looking for somebody on the bench. Doesn't have a lot of options as far as pinch hitters on the bench. Jorge Posada is there. Bounce to third. McDonald quickly to Hill at second. Back to first in time. Boy, John McDonald unloaded that ball in a hurry, and Aaron Hill off balance, off stride, still got enough on the throw to return the double play.
Get it to the inside part of the bag and let the second baseman do the rest. It isn't pretty like you see it happen with most second basemen, but it's effective. Catch it, unload it.
John McDonald's got the quickest hands in baseball. That ball didn't stay in his glove a half a second. Big double play that erases that leadoff single. Russell Martin. Martin went to the All-Star game, his third All-Star appearance. A lot of Martin fans here. He was born in North York, grew up in Montreal. Fly ball deep center field, but Rajay Davis has plenty of room, and Perez gets out of the 7th inning. 2 good innings by Luis Perez. Blue Jays will bat bottom of the 7th with a 4-run lead. Connected on East End, Ontario. The Rangers and the Marlins, West End Pacific. More baseball coming up on those 2 channels, and lots of baseball more to come. Sportsnet Connected will bring you up to date with everything that's going on around the baseball world, including the Cleveland Indians having their way with the Baltimore Orioles starting off the 2nd half. Big crowd on hand here at Rogers Center. The opener of 4 games against the Yankees. 36,465 in attendance. Should be a great weekend. The weather's beautiful. Big 4-game series before the Yankees leave town. Left fielder Travis Snyder. Ground ball. Cano behind second. Quickly unloads. Not near first base. Cano threw that ball a little bit before he was ready to.
He might have been better served to backhand plant that right foot and have a little bit more on the throw and a little bit more accurate. Played it in front of him. Snyder hits it off the end of the bat. He plays it in front of him, but now he can't get anything on the throw.
He's got a strong arm and just didn't get his feet underneath him enough to get a lot on the throw. You can see he was going away from the bag and made a bad throw. Snyder gets an infield hit. Pitching change coming up when we come back to Rogers Center. By the Yankees on the 29th of June. He originally was drafted by the Chicago Cubs, spent some time in Florida with Joe Girardi. Yankees had him 2009, 2010. He was a swingman, would start, work out of the bullpen, and he's back with New York.
Once again, that trade, he traded him to the Yankees, or to Milwaukee from the Yankees back in March. Chris Dickerson came back to the Yankees. We saw Dickerson earlier this year. Mitre's got the turbo sinker fastball. Will get a lot of ground ball outs when he gets it down. Spins a breaking ball up there also. He has started a few games, but mostly been out of the bullpen for the Yankees now.
Mitre takes over for Boone Logan. Logan pitched 2/3 of an inning, started the inning because the left-handed hitting Travis Snyder. But Snyder would get the infield base hit. J.P. Arencibia pulls that inside pitch foul.
That's about what you're going to get from Mitre right there. That fastball that's going to just dive in on you. So if you've got that scouting report, if you see it in the middle of the plate, go ahead and take it. It will dive out of the strike zone. Mitre is at his best when he has batters a little bit too impatient at the plate.
Like Travis Snyder was thinking about running. A little bit of a hesitation. Mitre picked a good time to make a throw to first. Nobody out. There goes Snyder. Pitch out. Russell Martin's throw into center field. Snyder quickly up, headed for third. Well, the Yankees did everything right. They guessed with Snyder. They called the pitch out, but Russell Martin airmailed it into center field.
They have picked on Martin a lot this year. This is the 71st attempt against Russell Martin. And the 51st attempt that they are successful. They guessed right. Pitch out. It sails on him. Martin will be charged with his 7th error of the season as the ball goes into center field. Snyder has his 6th stolen base and a big run out at third base.
Infield is drawn in. Arencibia drives it down the left field line. That's a fair ball all the way to the wall. Snyder jogs in. Arencibia headed for second, and he beats the tag of Cano. Big hit for Arencibia. The RBI double all the way to the wall and left.
He makes him get the ball up. That's the important thing. Make Mitre get that sinking fastball up, and you can have swings like this. Arencibia into the corner. He will pick up his 39th RBI as Snyder crosses the plate. Makes it 12-7.
That ball went all the way down the left field line, hit the wall, and Arencibia just ahead of the tag at second. His 10th double of the season. Rajay Davis lays off that breaking ball. Boy, the word has gotten out. Everybody throws Davis breaking balls.
And if he's patient enough, make him throw for a strike. Don't help him out. And the last 10 days or so, Rajay has been very patient at the plate. He knows what they're trying to do to him. They're trying to throw breaking balls away. Wait for a one that you can handle.
It's a fastball on the outside corner. Been a roller coaster ride for John Farrell tonight. His club scored 8 runs in the first inning. They were up 9-0 after 2, but the Yankees had a 4-run third and a 3-run 6th. Another fastball on the outside corner. Jays have done a good job hitting tonight with runners in scoring position. They're 9 for 16 so far. That's been a weak spot to their attack. Not the case tonight. 12 runs on 16 hits. Bounce to the right side. Aaron Sebia will go to third. Davis is retired.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays have had their hitting shoes on lately, including tonight. They have had 74 hits in their last 6 games, including a big series in Cleveland.
A couple more hits tonight for Yuno Escobar, and an opportunity to get another ribby.
He started and wanted to stop but couldn't. Mitre gets ahead. Opportunity for Escobar. Boy, if there was a at bat that really makes you get the ball up, this is it.
Yeah, you got to make him get the ball up so you can get the ball into the outfield. Infield in.
That won't do it. Jeter looks at Aaron Sebia at third, and Escobar's retired. So Eric Thames has a chance against the right-handed pitching Mitre.
Last time up, fastball inside, and he was upset with himself as he went back to the dugout. Popped up, made an out. Wonder if Mitre is going to try that on the inner half right away.
Rob Thompson, the third base coach, directing the infield. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. That get me over strike. Mitre thought that might have been a strike as well.
Well, he's got great movement on that fastball. It will lock up left-handed batters, thinking that the ball is going to be inside and it'll leap back over the middle of the plate.
Bouncing ball up the middle, base hit for Thames. A 3-hit night. He drives in Aaron Sebia. And Thames' average continues to climb.
The theme of this game for the Blue Jays tonight is clutch hitting. Thames stays right with that pitch. They did not go onto the inner half against him. They kept the ball away, and he hits it back through the middle.
Thames will be lifted in favor of the pinch runner. Corey Patterson will take over running at first base. Eric Thames, a 3-hit night, 3 for 5 with 3 RBI. He can hit.
Yes. He's got a good idea.
John McDonald had a base hit in his only at bat. Looks at a strike. 13 runs on 17 hits. Pretty good night for the hitters. First day back after the All-Star break. Pulled to third. Bobbled by Nunez. Just in time at second. Cano held his ground in time to force Corey Patterson. Then an adventure tonight for Nunez. Eric Thames, a 3-hit night. He drove in 3. A bang-bang play after the bobble at third. Luis Perez had 2 good innings. Perez goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits and no runs, and Camp will face the veteran Jorge Posada coming off the bench as a pinch hitter.
Camp now with his 40th game of the season. That gives the Blue Jays 3 relievers with at least 40 appearances so far this season.
Blue Jays up by 6. Posada takes one outside. Jorge Posada got off to a slow start. Starting to swing the bat a little bit better. His playing time has been reduced dramatically with the acquisition of Russell Martin. Posada hitting .292 since May 8th. Over a span of 130 at bats. Bounce to first. Camp gets there in plenty of time. Posada's retired first out of the 8th. We mentioned this is the first of 4 games against the Yankees. That starts the second half for the Blue Jays. Freddie Garcia will go to the mound for New York against Brandon Morrow in tomorrow night's game. And how about Saturday? What else? Matchup Saturday. CC Sabathia against Ricky Romero on Saturday afternoon. Eduardo Nunez is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard. Ricky Romero, his first All-Star game. The starters always bunched together on the bench.
Why aren't they in their usual seat? Not on the fence.
Because it's all about the hitters tonight.
Maybe it's one of those same seats kind of thing. They started there in the first inning. Blue Jays got 8 runs, so they're staying there.
Way inside. Ricky Romero took his entire family to the All-Star game, and he did something that I haven't seen before. Took his family to the media conference. Had his mother with him and father, and they were all inside the media conference. Backhanded by Escobar. What a play. Oh my. Leonel Escobar has made all the plays. This was a tough one, as it was a backhanded short hop and then a throw on the run.
And remember, Nunez can run. He could really run from that right-handed batter's box down that line, so it's do or die. Gets the short hop, and we've talked about that arm. That is on line across that diamond. Escobar has turned into a very good fielder. Makes all the plays, and at times he will flash that type of level.
He had to unload this one in a hurry, and he throws it right on the money. Then scoops it out of the dirt. 2 outs. Well, I tell you what, these 2 guys have really smoothed out their defense. Lynn played first base his whole life, back to high school and college, and just took him a little while to get reacclimated, but he has not been an issue defensively.
There were some questions going into spring training about the Blue Jays, one of them being, can Adam Lynn play first base? Well, this is a nice scoop here. Stay down right with that ball and just take it, pluck it right off the dirt. Also, as Escobar, the long-term answer at shortstop. And he is showing it this year that he can do it.
Brett Gardner rifles one down in the right field corner. Corey Patterson digs it out, but Gardner has a 2-out double. His 13th double of the season. Gardner's had a 3-hit night.
That's the thing about Gardner. You know, you throw him the ball that he can hit. He's a good hitter. Eventually, he is going to be hitting at the top of the lineup for the Yankees. Pitch on the inner half, a lot like Jacoby Ellsbury, starting to show a little bit more power, and he's got great speed.
You remember when the Blue Jays first saw the Yankees this year, he was mired in a terrible slump. Looked like he'd never get another hit. And he has turned it around dramatically. Blue Jays saw him at the end of April. He was hitting .169. Derek Jeter, he's had 1 hit tonight. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. 3,005 hits now for his career. Jeter is 27th on the all-time hit list. He is 2 away from the great Tiger, Al Kaline. Yankee fans everywhere want to congratulate Derek Jeter for his 3,000 hits. Not only does he become the first Yankee to get 3,000 hits, he becomes the first baseball player to wear a New York uniform to get 3,000 hits.
That's amazing. When I saw that note, now you're talking about the New York Mets, New York Giants, Brooklyn Dodgers, and Yankees. The first one, all the great baseball history that has come out of New York. And Jeter is the only one.
Yeah, they're talking about a lot of great players over a long span of baseball seasons. It's interesting too. I had just come back from New Jersey, and everybody at the airport wanted to talk about Derek Jeter, and many people were prepared to put Derek Jeter in the same class as the great Joe DiMaggio. And why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Class, plays a glamorous position, played on championship teams. He set the example for the Yankees for so many years. When you think of New York Yankees, who do you think of?
The captain bounces this one behind second. Aaron Hill, what a play. A couple of good defensive plays here in the 8th inning behind Sean Kemp. Escobar made the first one on Eduardo Nunez, and Hill makes the second one. Adam Lind is there to help him out from the shortstop side of second. Hill throws out Jeter. Bruce goodbye waiting another first only from Rogers.
Defense has been a lot better over the last 2 weeks for the Blue Jays, and they have really flashed some leather here tonight. Escobar and Lind on the other half as he digs it. After a long throw by Escobar to get a very fast Eduardo Nunez at first base. Escobar is playing some great defense.
Sergio Mitre set to deal with Adam Lind and then hit his bat. It'll be a foul ball as Lind tried to get out of the way. It sounded like it hit the knob of the bat.
Fastball inner half, and it hit his bat as he dropped it to get out of the way. Watch this.
Hit it right on the handle of that bat. Mitre throws that comeback two-seamer inside. Starts it right at Lind's hip. Tries to give him to give ground. Breaking ball. Jay Davis said no swing on the appeal down at third. We're in the bottom of the 8th. It has been a back and forth seesaw affair. Blue Jays had a 9-0 lead after 2. And the Yankees scratch back behind the big bat of Andrew Jones. Jones hit 2 home runs tonight. Drove in 4. His 42nd multi-home run game of his career. Both those home runs came against JoJo Reyes. Lynn's had a 2-for-4 night. His average up to 303. Changeup with a little sink on it.
Yeah, it looks like a fastball. It's got the same kind of movement on it, but not as hard. Take a little something off, trying to get Lynn out in front. Lynn looking for his 3rd hit tonight.
And there it is. He stayed on that sinker ball, went down and got it, and shoots it into right. That starts the 8th. He's had 3 hits tonight. Eric Thames has had 3 hits.
This is how Sergio Mitre can get that good movement. He's got his 2 fingers together on those seams and just drives the ball down. You see that funky rotation on the baseball, but Lynn stays right on it. Stay on top of that one.
6 Jays have had 2 or more hits tonight. They've really spread the offense around. Aaron Hill skies it. Second baseman Robinson Cano waits for it. John Farrell has seen a little bit of everything tonight, and Jose Bautista left the ball game. He appeared to sprain his ankle sliding into third base on a double play. Here's the play at third. He rolls over that right ankle and would leave the ball game. We have been since told that it's a sprain. He is day to day. Hopefully we'll have good news tomorrow, but he walked off the field under his own power. The irony of that is when I came through the airport last night, Customs Inspector Starr stopped me and said, "What's Bautista doing sliding in an all-star game?"
That's how he plays the game.
And that's how he plays the game, but everybody was concerned about that. This is going to get down in front of Curtis Granderson. Encarnacion has a hit. Adam Lynn does a good job going first to third. And Encarnacion's had another big night. He has a 3-hit night.
4th time that he has been on base. Looping breaking ball. It just hangs up for Encarnacion. He's also driven in 3 runs. Lucky that one didn't leave the ballpark from where it was, right over the middle of the plate. Hits it off the end of the bat. And now a chance for Snyder to have a 3-hit night.
This is a good matchup for Travis Snyder. He's a low ball hitter. And that sinking fastball works down over the plate.
And if he stays on it, he'll be fine. Earlier this year, he was helicoptering off the pitch down and away.
Pops this one up. Nunez gives it a look, but it's out of play. Frankie Francisco is loosening up. He's standing by down in the bullpen. The Blue Jays, 13 runs on 19 hits. 19 hits, a new season high. Previous high came on May 29th against the White Sox, 18. Travis Snyder with his 3rd hit of the night. That'll score 1. Encarnacion headed for 3rd. He'll be stopped there. 20 hits for the Blue Jays now. No problem with the 3 days off to the All-Star break.
They must have done a lot of hitting in the cages to stay sharp, especially that guy right there, Travis Snyder. 20 hits. Snyder has a 3-hit night. Watch him stay in it. You were right. Low ball hitter. Stays on it. rips it into the corner for another RBI and another extra base hit.
14 runs, also a new season high, as they scored 13 against Minnesota in the opener. JP Arencibia takes the strike. A pretty good pitch to hit. The breaking ball was up out over the plate. JP's a little disappointed in his batting average, but when you look at the production, he has 39 RBI and 12 home runs.
How about the extra base hits? 25 extra base hits in 250 at bats. That will get some production.
Zinoholo 0-2. Bounced it to short, off Jeter's glove. Here comes Encarnacion. He's going to score, and Snyder had literally moved to third. The infield was drawn in. Jeter will be charged with the error.
His fifth of the season, this one right at him. It was JP Arencibia who grounded the ball in the first inning to the third baseman. He booted it, and 5 runs would end up scoring. This one right at Derek, and it hops up, hits him on the heel of the glove. 1 run scores, and Snyder moves over to third base.
Yankees have committed 3 errors tonight. Nunez, Martin, and now Jeter. Rajay Davis. Bouncing ball to Teixeira, wide of first, goes to second for the force. They get the lead runner, but Snyder comes in to score. Davis will pick up the RBI on the fielder's choice. It's 16-7.
Nino Escobar gets his 6th at bat here in the 8th inning as Arencibia makes it back to the dugout.
23 runs on 33 hits tonight. It's really against the trend that baseball has seen throughout the first half of this season. Through the first half of the 2011 season, baseball's had the lowest batting average since 1972.
Team's batting average 253. And why is 1972 such a interesting year?
That's the last year in the American League without the DH. But this is certainly a departure from the first half. Escobar with a foul grounder. Great way for John Farrell's club to start the second half. We're a little concerned with the way they played against the Indians. They had so much momentum. They won the last 3 games in the Indians series, and everybody said, well, it's too bad the All-Star break's coming up now. They picked it up right where they left off. Strike 3 call. Escobar is called out. That ends the 8th inning. But the Blue Jays with a big lead. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Brad Fay. Eastern time. That'll be the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. That'll be 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Jay's on Sportsnet. Game 2 of 4-game series. He on in the ninth. Frank Francisco,
the closer, trying to get some work. Last time we saw him 10 for 14 in save opportunities. That was in Cleveland. 2 hits and 3 earned runs in that inning, so he's going to try and work it out as Granderson is the first batter here in the ninth.
Granderson with 2 RBI tonight has 65 ribbies for the season. Pops it up. Left fielder Travis Snyder takes a couple of steps in. After the All-Star break, everybody needs to get their throwing in. John Roush here in the ninth just getting some work in as the Blue Jays are up by 9. Mark Teixeira batting left-handed for the first time tonight. Teixeira is 1 for 4. Got an RBI on a ground out in the 3rd inning. The Jays have established season highs in runs scored and hits. 16 runs on 20 hits. Three balls and a strike to the Yankee first baseman. Long foul.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Good fastball from Francisco, 94. Teixeira strikes out for a second time.
When you can go upstairs with the fastball, downstairs, makes it tough for the hitter as you change the eye plane. This time, you mentioned it, 94 miles an hour by Teixeira. That's where Francisco needs to be effective.
So the Yankees are down to their final out. Robinson Cano, the cleanup hitter, has a couple of hits tonight. Cano was the winner of the Home Run Derby in Arizona at Chase Field Monday night. He's got a fluid swing and really generated a lot of long home runs. Late on that fastball. Real interesting aspect of that home run contest was Cano's batting practice pitcher was his father, Jose Cano.
That was cool to be able to watch that, and I started seeing all those balls fly out of the ballpark. So Mr. Cano started throwing to a couple of other players.
Eric Thames out of the game, but he's continuing to get instruction from the outfield coach, Torey Lovullo. Jose fans on their feet. Robinson Cano gets his 3rd hit of the night. Fights off the inside fastball.
That base hit by Cano should now put him over 300 on the season. You make a mistake, you can pull it. Stays inside and he stays with another hit.
300 on the nose for Robinson Cano with a 3-hit night. There goes Cano. Swisher swings and misses. That's defensive indifference as Cano takes second. Breaking ball's inside. It's a ball and a strike to Nick Swisher. The attendance here tonight has been corrected. It's 37,342. Big Thursday night opener for this 4-game series. Ball in the dirt.
80s night. That's why they're here.
Big 80s night crowd. They like the music. The DeLorean time machine is here at Rogers Center.
They certainly played along with our theme of going back to the future. Blue Jays back in 1985. The way the bats have come out here tonight.
Another good fastball from Francisco. Again, the Yankees down to their final step. Lifted to left field. Snyder has a beat on it. Then the Blue Jays win. Blue Jays win the opener of this 4-game series. They do it in a season-high fashion. They scored a season-high 16 runs on 20 hits. Lots of offense tonight. Aaron Hill got everything started with a 2-out, 3-2 base hit to drive in the first 2 runs of the game.
Probably the biggest at-bat of the game tonight was that at-bat by Hill in the first inning. 2 strikes. He stayed right on a pitch from Cologne, hit it right back through the middle, and then after the air, 5 more runs would come across. Yankees would make it interesting as they would pull within 2, but the bats kept coming. They scored a season high in runs with 16.
Coming up next on Sportsnet, Sportsnet Connected on Eastern Ontario. More baseball. Rangers and Mariners, West and Pacific. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.